Hi and welcome back to Bride Society. So it's a new year and many of you may have gotten engaged over the festive period, so some extra hard celebrating maybe has gone on, so congratulations if that's you. So we thought basically what we do today is have a quick chat about how to get started. So you engage, now what do you do? Like where do you start? Because it can be a seemingly overwhelming task, although very exciting as well, but we'll thought we'd try and get you going.
So you might have already gone out and bought a few magazines to get some ideas, and our first tip is to take the timelines that they often put in the magazines with a pinch of salt.
Throw them out the window.
The ones we've come across don't prioritise the things that we would.
Yeah.
They don't put the things that we think you should book first.
Yeah, doesn't seem practical.
No. It's like booking venues when you've only got a couple of months left to go before the wedding. Well, how do you know when your date is going to be without a venue? So yeah, just use your common sense and follow our advice rather than the magazines.
Yeah, clearly, because our advice is clearly the best. So, so for us, our number one priority starting point is for you and your now fiance to discuss provisional dates and the sort of geographical location. So in terms of the location, so traditionally it's where the bride is originally from, but who needs tradition? Don't have to stick to that.
No.
It could be where you now live or somewhere that's special to the two of you. So lots of options to consider there. But obviously that'll help narrow down your venue search when the time comes. And as I say, provisional dates. So don't get your heart too set on a specific date right from the start, because as we were saying, like venues and things like that can get booked up months, years in advance. So particularly obviously in peak times, so in the summer, Saturdays, that kind of thing. So yeah, try not to be too rigid on that from the outset.
One good thing we've got to say about magazines and also Pinterest is the inspiration you can get from them. But there is also a caveat with that often the pictures you might see are from weddings with huge budgets, or they might even be staged photo shoots where suppliers can really show off the best things that they can do. So again, just be wary that you might, if you have your heart set on a particular thing you've seen, that it might cost a bit more than maybe you're prepared to pay. But they can be great to get ideas of options of types of venues, styles of weddings that you might
colour
want.
schemes.
Colour schemes, exactly.
Yeah, help you get that picture in your mind of what you're ultimately trying to sort of work towards, aim for, rather than sort of aimlessly like looking at everything going, oh, that's pretty, and just getting really confused and overwhelmed.
Yeah, and you can certainly take elements of things you've seen and maybe tailor them to your budget, your style, just to make it your wedding rather than copying exactly what you've seen.
And so another point that we thought was quite useful is to think about making like 2 provisional guest lists. So you have your list of must-haves, so maybe your immediate family, like those key people that you definitely couldn't not have at your wedding, okay, and then a second list of your sort of ideally have, so people you would like to have there in an ideal world, and have those, then top those numbers up, have those numbers in mind, so when you go to look at venues you have a rough idea of the capacity that venue needs to have, and then when they're quoting to you what their per head cost is, you've got some kind of idea as to whether that's gonna even be in the realm of possibility for you, and help you kind of then think a bit more about your budget.
Yes, so you probably haven't planned a wedding before. You might not even know anyone close to you that's planned a wedding before, so how do you know how much things cost? It's one thing putting kind of random numbers next to certain things in a budget and then hoping for the best.
I'll spend £10 on my wedding.
So
I'll make it all.
So one good tip is to maybe contact a few suppliers or just have a look on websites to get a rough idea of how much certain things cost. That means you can then prioritise what are the things that you really have to have. Where do you want to splurge on?
What you care about.
and where could you maybe save a bit of money by maybe going for a kind of a less high-end option. Just things like that, just so you can have some idea of in your mind how much this wedding is going to cost.
Yes, because you might get a shock.
Yeah, and another thing is if you're in the position where family might be giving some money to help with the planning, just have the conversation early on about, are there any expectations from them about how the money is going to be spent, because again, you don't want a shock down the line that whoever's given you the money then wants to add 20 people to the guest list, and it just escalates out of control.
yeah, and then you feel like you can't say no because of obligation. Exactly. Just from the outset, have that conversation. But you know, above all, enjoy it. Okay, it's supposed to be a nice thing, an enjoyable thing, and a positive thing in your life. Okay, don't forget that. So you know, toast your engagement, enjoy celebrating it, and as I say, enjoy the process, and remember to still do things with each other that's not all about the wedding. You know, have time out from that. But it is an exciting time, and we hope you enjoy it too. So obviously, if you have just gotten engaged, we have lots of other videos on our channel for you in terms of DIY ideas, more advice, and inspiration, and those kind of things. So check out the other videos, and we hope you find them helpful. But otherwise, congratulations.